Alright, Yumiko versus Foggy on Eco Isles. Foggy as the Night Elf player here on the right side of the map. Yumiko as the human player on the left side of Eco Isles. And let's take a look at the heroes. Is it going to be a standard Archmage? Or is it going to be a different hero? Could be a Mountain King, could be a Blood Mage, could even be a Paladin. And it's a Paladin! Alright, so not too surprising since I already casted a game where Yumiko went for Paladin second on Concealed Heal, always against Foggy. But in that game he went Archmage first and Paladin as a second hero. In this game is opening with the Paladin, which is definitely something unconventional, even though the Paladin has been used a lot more recently in several matchups.
Ready to work.
Even though in Asia versus Undead we always see either Mountain King or Archmage. Of course Archmage is the standard. But against Orc and against Elf, some of those Asian players are experimenting with the Paladin. And he's going for the Mercenary Camp here to get the level 2, to get the Shadow Priest, possibly get a good item. Foggy got the Circlet of Nobility, very good item.
Our forces are under attack.
And I like that he's going for the Mercenary Camp first, not going for the instant expansion, so he's gonna have more wood. And he also went for an early Scout Tower to have the ability to transform it into an Arcane Tower in case of some Treant's Arras by the Night Elf. Now he creeps the green here at the Null Brute level 3. So if you get the Mercenary and this camp here plus the Natural, then you're gonna be level 3. And this Ring of Regeneration that he got at the Mercenary camp is so good. Allows him to tank while creeping.
Our forces are under attack.
Because the health regeneration of the ring is pretty insane. Look at how fast this Paladin is regenerating. And if he gets the claws here, it's going to be very good. And he gets the claws. Alright. So more right clicks. Of course the Paladin is not a right click hero, so it's not like the value of the claws is not the same as if he was playing an Archmage. But you can see the damage on that Archer. This Paladin is no joke. And the value of the Holy Light. By the way, he went Devotion Aura level 2. So actually the reason that the Shadow Priest went to almost full HP is because he has only 240 HP in the first place, but this Holy Light is only level 1, so he's prioritizing the armor. That's an interesting choice. It's something I would pretty much never consider. As soon as I get level 3 Paladin, I just get Holy Light level 2. But in this scenario, he only has Footmen and Mercs. So it's not like he has units with a lot of HP that you need a level 2 Holy Light. So maybe getting the armor is better. I don't know. I feel like they're both good. Depends on what you want to do. The Devotion level 2 makes your units very tanky. But I feel like the single target healing at level 2 is so good. Essentially countering the level 2 Entangle. But so far this Keeper is only level 2, so Entangle is only level 1, so I feel like Holy Light level 1 is enough to deal with this level 1 Entangle. And the thing is that Foggy got his expansion without any problem. So he didn't accomplish anything except buying time for his own expansion, which is an accomplishment itself. He didn't kill any unit of Yumiko, but he got the expo up. And he already has a second hero, because Night Elves can always pretty much tech and expand, which is something that humans can't do. So Yumiko just now starting his tech, so it's gonna take a while for him to get his Blood Mage or his Archmage second. And for the time being, Foggy has all the map control, so he's going to be able to get this camp pretty much uncontested. Let's see if Yumiko does something to prevent Foggy from getting the item, but looks like... okay, he's trying to, but he's not gonna be there in time. As Foggy gets the Wand of Illusion, very good item, especially for the late game. If you cast Wand of Illusion on your bears, or even better on your mountain giants, they're going to be able to soak up a lot of damage. Sometimes we even see players purchasing this item here at the marketplace, and in this case Foggy got it essentially for free, just by creeping. He's trying to go for the Shadow Priests here. Paladin is out of mana, so Foggy is chasing, but he needs one more right click. Oh, and look at the value of the claws now! The Keeper falls! Big mistake by Foggy here, losing the Keeper. I think it was actually... his attention was focused on the Alchemist, trying to get the kill. He kind of forgot about the Keeper. And this Paladin with the +6, thanks to the claws, finds the kill. So like I said, the claws of attack, always a good item, even though you're playing the Paladin, not to be underestimated. And now Foggy is stuck with a level 1 Alchemist, can't do anything on the map, because he needs to wait for his Keeper. He's not rebuying it from the tavern, because it's very expensive. But Yumiko still doesn't have any rifles, so I feel like Dryads can do a lot at this stage of the game. And Foggy's going tier 3, so he's building like 4 Dryads just to have the map control right now, and instantly going to tier 3 to produce Mountain Giants, which I feel like is the right choice. There's no reason to play mass Dryads against humans. Even if they work very well on maps like Last Refuge or even Amazonia, maps where you can buy a Zeppelin and do some Dryad harass into the human main. In this map we don't have a laboratory, so you cannot buy the Zeppelin. So I feel like on this map it's a lot better to go Mountain Giants or Bears, or both of them, as we often see. Night Elves going with like 3-4 Mountain Giants in the front line, and then maybe a couple of Bears for the roar, for the rejuvenation, which is extremely good against hero focus. And looks like Foggy is accomplishing a lot now with those Dryads. That's normal. If the human doesn't have rifles and the elf has Dryads, then the map control belongs to the elf. But he's finding too many kills here. That's definitely far from ideal from Yumiko, losing 3 mercenaries already. And that is actually bringing Foggy back into this game, if he was behind in the first place. I'm not sure he was behind, I don't think so, even if he lost the Keeper. Now there's a staff. So the only thing that Foggy doesn't have in his favor so far is this level on the Keeper. Only level 2. Almost level 3, but still only level 2. Against an almost level 4 Paladin, but still no second hero. Okay, now we have a Blood Mage for Yumiko. And the first mortar is in production, and rifles in production as well. So he went Blood Mage. This means he's not gonna have Brilliance Aura. I feel like Blood Mage 2nd is better than Archmage because you can use it immediately. You can see the value, instantly siphoning your Paladin. And of course you can use the Siphon mana aggressively to remove mana from the Alchemist and the Keeper. So instant value with a level 1 Blood Mage. But in the late stages of the game, you still need an Archmage for Brilliance. Because against Elf you need Tier 3, so you need Inner Fire, Frag Shards, and you need healing and support by those priests, and for that you need mana, so that's why humans always get an Archmage, and even though they might choose different first heroes, then in the end they pretty much always build an Archmage. So maybe he's going to get it at Tier 3 as a third hero, let's see. Foggy already has... I don't know if these are illusions. If not, then he already has 4 mountain giants. Let's take a look at the population. 80 food, okay, that's 4 real mountain giants. And I feel like Yumiko is not in no fighting shape so far, because Tier 3 is not finished yet. And before the first big engagement you want to have Inner Fire, you want to have mortars, more mortars, possibly with frag shards. And Foggy is getting bears, alright. Resistant skin for the mountain giant, so he already has, I'm assuming he already has hardened skin, which is the essential upgrade that you want to have on your mountain giants, and now he's even researching the resistant skin. Keeper still only level 3, still has to creep the mercenary camp by the way, Foggy does. But the Alchemist is level 3, so the level on the Alchemist is decent. That was a potentially nasty creepjack by Yumiko, but looks like Foggy with the Mountain Giants is going to be able to do just fine. And I really like this flank with the Keeper here, trapping Yumiko in the middle of the Keeper and the Mountain Giants. This is definitely not a good fighting position for Yumiko, shouldn't be trading here.
Forces are under attack. I await your command.
But he's going for the surround. Can he get it? The slow! Oh, that's well done. But he has a TP, so he gets out. But that helps a lot. Essentially bringing Yumiko out of a potentially dangerous situation.
Our forces are under attack.
I like this copter that's constantly scouting the Night Elf positioning. As Yumiko is now sneaking behind Foggy's expansion, trying to go for the Gargantuan Sea Turtle level 7. And that's gonna be big if he gets it. It's gonna be level 2 for the Blood Mage, not level 2 for the Archmage, but this camp gives a lot of experience, like don't underestimate this camp. Very essential camp to get if you're trying to level up your heroes. Because if he gets this one, then he can still get this one on his side of the map, which will be hard for Foggy to steal, so that's a massive steal actually. Look at the experience bar on this Archmage, almost level 2, Blood Mage level 2. If he gets the other Gargantuan, basically Blood Mage is gonna go close to level 3. He could even solo creep the Archmage or the Blood Mage.
Our forces are under attack.
Right, first big engagement. $100 food for Foggy versus 86 for Yumiko. Lots of wisps by Foggy to dispel the inner fire, but he's not using them yet. I think he's waiting for Yumiko to activate the inner fire and then he's going to move the wisps. Or maybe he's just microing other stuff. Oh, he's trying to move them now for the dispel. Look at this nice wisp move. That's a lot of multitasking here. I really like those wisps. Look at them. Moving, sneakily moving from the back. Oh, that's gonna be a massive detonate. Ay, 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 ay. That's gonna drain almost all of the mana. Boom! Where is your mana? All of a sudden, everything is dry for the human. Massive detonate by Foggy. Still leading with 94 food against 75 only for Yumiko, and he wants to finish this game here, right now. A-moving, essentially A-moving into the ground. No micro needed anymore at this stage of the game. Just needs to micro back the hurt. Bears, cast roar, maybe use the staffs. And click taunt, of course. Loses one bear. But the archers are still standing. Now we have Blizzard though. But everything is hard for Yumiko, who's against the ropes, almost trapped in his own base. He already used the town portal, so there's no escape. He needs to win the fight here, or he's going to lose the game here. But everything is starting to be low for Foggy as well, but he's still pushing forward, trying to go for those hero kills. Yumiko now sneaking behind the trees, producing from double barracks, massing more knights, trying to mass more knights. Oh, and the creeps are now helping Yumiko, attacking Foggy's units. And those peasants still mass repairing the tower. While we have more bears, more reinforcements for Foggy joining in with the rejuve, joining with the roar. One more bear is gonna fall here. It looked like Foggy was having the better trades, but Yumiko never stopped producing. He still has a lot of gold, despite losing peasants, and he never stopped producing. So basically he traded most of his casters and the rifles that he had, and he replaced them with knights, and now he's surrounded his keeper, and there's no staff! He transferred the staff. He gave it to the alchemist to play the Knight of Trick, where you use the Staff of Preservation to staff out the alchemist, and then you staff in with the teleport after replenishing the mana and the HP. But then he forgot to retransfer the staff to the keeper, so the keeper had no staff, he lost it. Instant rebuy at the tavern, but that's expensive. But he had a lot of gold, right, so basically only losing experience here. It's still a big loss, but with such a huge bank, he was able to instantly rebuy it. But now his main, I mean his expansion tree is under pressure. He's not repairing. He cannot repair actually against the flame strike. And this tree is falling. And Foggy is without income. Yes, it does have the supply lead, 85 versus 61. but he lost his source of income. Of course, he's Night Elf, so he can always wait until he finishes to mine this gold mine here, and then transfer, move the tree of life, the tree of eternity, move it here, and start mining again. But for the time being, he's not gonna have any additional income. Still has 600 gold to buy a few items. But he doesn't have mana. Look at this keeper, 135 mana. Double healing scroll though, that helps a lot. And no heal scrolls on Yumiko's side, so well done by Foggy, purchasing the available scrolls of healing. And look at those road archers. They are uncontested. They are just destroying those knights. Just destroying those knights. But Yumiko is kiting well. He's playing like humans should play, not taking direct engagement, taking them for a while but then retreating, kiting, letting the mana regeneration work for them, letting a little bit of a slow, as he does have two sorceresses on the field. And I don't know who wins. Foggy is getting more and more knights. But Yumiko is still somehow standing. And I don't know about those knights. You definitely want to get tier 3 for the inner fire, for the mortar teams with fragmentation shards, for the third hero of course. But I feel like breakers would be better than knights. If the Night Elf goes full on mountain giants, then you want to have knights. But since those Night Elves have been switching back to adding bears to their army compositions, I feel like breakers are absolutely maybe not necessary, but they can definitely help a lot. To steal the reju, to steal a bit of roar, to block, because I mean at the end of the day those knights are still falling, so I don't think that the breakers with upgrades will fall faster than the knights. And they don't take damage from Blizzard, they don't take damage from Flamestrike since they're magic immune, so I think he went knights because he was expecting full on mountain giants. But if the Night Elf keeps adding bursts, breakers are a lot better. Especially because you can steal the roar and the reju with that. And reju is such a great spell, allowing the Night Elves to regenerate the health for their heroes. But now Foggy is overextending maybe. I mean, he needs to buy time, he needs to needs to fight to buy time for his tree, who's been entangling the gold mine in the meanwhile. So he kinda had to engage. But Yumiko's kiting was very good, and despite losing a lot of knights, he didn't lose his casters, he didn't lose his mortars, he didn't lose his firepower, which now comes mostly from his own spells. Flamestrike, Blizzard, and Paladin is providing all the support that he needs, and a lot of mana on this Paladin. Foggy needs more units.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
For the first time in this game, he's down in supply, 66 versus 68. So he killed a lot in the mid game, especially when he was pushing Yumiko's expansion. It looked for a while like he was going to win comfortably. But now he's under heavy pressure and he needs to hold here. If he holds here, he's gonna have more gold. Around 1k gold advantage. And the Alchemist almost level 6, that could be the game changer. He just needs the level 6 and then he's going to be able to basically trade favorably in every engagement. Stealing the knights, transmuting them into gold, and those knights, if he gets level 6, they will give him so much gold to work with. He has to get the level 6, he's trying to go for that, he's trying to find those kills. But in the meanwhile, Blizzard is absolutely wrecking his front line. Look at the damage. How can Foggy out-heal this damage? I don't know. Knights are standing strong and they are not falling anymore. Keeper finishes mana, that's his last entangle. He's trying to go for the priest, he needs to get the priest, but he doesn't. Because there's a holy light, just at the right time, by Yumiko. Foggy desperately trying to get this level 6, going for the mortar now, but he's going to get micro in the back. Another holy light saves it. And actually Yumiko is doing very well here. One more Blizzard is going to obliterate those mountain giants who are still alive, but Foggy taps out. GG. And now look at this screen. Foggy losing the game despite reaching the highest total score with 93,465 points against 86,388 points for Yumiko. So Foggy got the highest points because he killed a lot. Let's take a look at the units. He killed 86 units, Yumiko killed 66. He produced 100 food, Yumiko produced 76. 100 units versus 76. So Foggy had the largest army, but he still lost. And even his stack percentage was higher. And the hero levels equal. 5 plus 5 is 10. 4 plus 7 plus 3 plus 3 is 10. Once again showing how close this game was. Super close game. Foggy could have definitely won if he just got the level 6. He tried with everything that he had to go for it, but those holy lights, so valuable, saving those units, preventing Alchemist from getting level 6. And at that point everything was red for Foggy. Yes, he had the expansion, but he wouldn't be able to hold the push that was about to come. Because all of his mountain giants were about to fall, and even if you get transmute at that point, if you don't have an army anymore, you're gonna lose the fight and the game. So, GG.